Hello and welcome to the return of Barely Contained, the podcast which washes its hands deep in the sink of the nation's finest online celebrity journalism. In another lockdown episode, I'm joined at a safe 40-mile distance by Chris Beckett to cast our eyes over some of the biggest A-list stories out there, involving Alesha Dixon's ribcage, Josie Gibson's Twig, Brody Jenner's shaka hand sign, and why Prince George may never be king. Barely Contained, because there's literally nothing else to do. Chris Beckett, how are you?
Hey, I'm all right, thanks, Matt. How's yourself?
Yeah, I'm okay. As ever, need to remind people that we're being responsible and we're social distancing, not 2 meters. It's a good 40 miles between us once again, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've been coping in lockdown, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, good days, bad days, but yeah, getting all right.
I've noticed that quite a few older episodes of Barely Contained have had a not inconsiderable spike in the number of listens. I can only assume that you've just been going back and listening to them all the time.
Well, it's classic gold. It's like when they used to have Our Tune and they played classic ones.
Yeah, they don't date, do they? They don't date, listener. Go back and stockpile. Barely Contained is something.
Never listen to them too many times.
It's perfectly acceptable to stockpile episodes of Barely Contained. Hey, Chris, I've got some breaking news here.
Go on.
This is a story that broke on the Daily Star Online. It's by their senior TV reporter, Sasha Morris. So, not one of the worker gophers, straight from the top. And the headline is Alesha Dixon flashes This Morning fans as plunging top gapes open live on air.
Flashes?
Yeah.
Kind of raincoat, man in raincoat flashing.
You never hear of that anymore, do you?
Yeah.
Really gone out of fashion, that crime. It's very, very much of the 80s, like Rubik's Cubes and Roland Rat.
I think it's been superseded by kind of Snapchat.
Yeah, or that one that people do with iPhones, not unsolicited. But hey, I continue. Britain's Got Talent babe Alesha Dixon flashed This Morning viewers today as her plunging yellow shirt gaped open to flash her bra live on air, leaving them hot under the collar. This Morning's Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield spoke to Britain's Got Talent star Alesha Dixon about the new series of the show, which is returning on Saturday night.
Okay.
As Alesha teased what talent viewers can expect, her yellow blouse, which was unbuttoned down to her rib cage, gaped open to reveal a little more than expected.
Right.
I mean, there's a little bit to unpack, isn't it? I mean, firstly, the word gape has been used 3 times, and it's just not in common parlance.
There's a lot of gaping going on. Unbuttoned down to her rib cage.
Yeah, I mean, that's not particularly, I don't know, maybe the young people will tell me different. That doesn't strike me as a particularly sexy phrase.
No, not really.
Never been a ribcage man, but it's whatever.
you leg, breast, rib cage.
Alesha, 40, looked gorgeous as the shirt plunging typo here, as the shirt plunging to reveal her pink underwear underneath, leaving fans very hot under the collar.
Again.
Yeah, again. If only there was some kind of synonym they could have employed there.
Yeah.
The judge also got viewers very excited for the next series, as she told Holly and Phil that was lots to expect from the audition stages.
Wow. Easy for them to say.
Obviously, not sure there what the correct past participle for the verb to be was in this context. I just chucked them both in.
Yeah.
Show bosses have confirmed that the live shows will be going ahead this year, despite the coronavirus pandemic throwing the ITV schedule into chaos. And a bit more, but I mean, this is where it's made clear the magnitude of this story. It goes on, "This is a live TV story and is being updated as soon as possible. Please refresh the page regularly to get the latest updates. TV and showbiz reporters are working to source the latest information, reaction, pictures, and video related to this story."
Wow, stand by your beds.
No.
Who's speaking about this from behalf of Her Majesty's government?
Well, this is it. There's been a lot of confusion if it falls under Michael Gove's remit. You know, they're scrapping like ferrets in a sack to decide who's responsible for the Alesha Dixon ribcage incident.
Are you seriously telling me in the cabinet there is not a ministry for wardrobe malfunctions?
There should be. And in 6 months' time, Chris, people are saying they should have listened to him.
Yeah, exactly. We're ahead of our time.
Right, Chris, what do you bring to this particular party?
Well, I hope I've come fully stocked because I have a story from the Daily Mirror, Brogan Lee Hurst. That's Brogan Lee Hurst, not any relation to the They Think It's All Over team captain.
Oh yeah, he's gone quite mad, hasn't he, these days on Twitter?
Yeah, he has a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily leap to 5. Josie Gibson was seen sporting dirty dungarees while holding up a twig as she chatted away to a pal amid the lockdown.
Wow. So, first of all, Brogan Lee Hurst, with a name like that, presumably wanted to work for Tatler, but it didn't really work out.
Well, I mean, maybe, yeah.
Josie Gibson. Should I wait for the second part? Will you enlighten me then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you already knew, but the reality star, best known for her antics on Big Brother, was close to her Bristol home as she ignored social distancing rules to speak to her mate while standing next to their car.
Would we say she's best known for her antics on Big Brother?
I'd possibly replace the word best for only.
I'd be honest. I've never heard of her. I presume she's one from the latter days of it, not the kind of glory days when you had like Bubble and Kitten and Sandy in there. Yeah,
no, it's not golden Big Brother. It's Big Brother plus one. So she's sporting dungarees while holding up a twig. Very much in the way, I don't know, Minnie the Minx might do.
Oh, one for the younger listener.
Single mum of one, Josie, who is mother to baby boy Reggie James, was wearing a casual grey t-shirt and dungarees, which she paired with flip-flops on the outing. Doesn't sound like much of an outing. She's standing next to her car,
waving a twig around.
I guess these days we sort of are all taking what we can get.
That's it.
Sorry.
Go on.
You carry on.
No, it's okay. Go on. The moment's gone.
The 35-year-old was seen holding on to the car door while stopping for a quick chat in the street, posing with one hand on her hip.
They're really ringing this one out, aren't they?
They really are, yeah. She went makeup free for the trek and was spotted carrying a muddy twig in one hand, which she delightfully held up. Delightfully. Josie has fortunately had the entertainment of her toddler son to keep her company amid the coronavirus lockdown. I don't think toddler son is there just to keep her entertained.
No, she should be homeschooling Reggie James.
Well, the star has hilariously been teaching her son to clean and has shared snaps on her Instagram of him wiping down windows and the glass shower doors.
Wow, that certainly sounds like it's comedy gold.
And here's a little bit about the sort of domestic arrangements. She shares her son with ex-boyfriend Terry, who she split up with 4 months after the birth of her son. Josie revealed that her former partner had kicked her out of their home on New Year's Eve 2018. She previously told New magazine I never wanted to be a single mother, obviously, but there are things you can't let go. So I hope I will smash life as a single mummy. Lots of other women do it.
And
Fair
lots
enough.
of other women haven't got a twig.
Well, exactly. That kind of, tips it in her favour. Speaking about the reason they split, she added, he's got OCD, and just after Christmas, he went mad about too many of my shoes being in the hallway. So I kicked off and said, well, we'll go then. And he went, all right, and bagged up all our stuff.
I mean, there's a certain tragedy there.
I didn't mean to chuckle at it, but it was all very kind of
it seems like
a story to end.
Yeah, the
and the relationship.
Yeah, it's all very odd, isn't it? But I mean, do you think they went to court over the twig, and who got to keep that? I just feel you need to know more about this twig.
Yeah, it offered a lot, the headline, but at the end of it, it wasn't really explaining why she was holding it, and especially why she was holding it delightfully.
So if you are Brogan Lee Hurst, no doubt self-isolating at Sandhurst, do get in touch. Tell us more about the twig.
Yeah, please do. Now, Matt, I understand you have a sizzling royal story to tell us about.
I do indeed. This is from The Express. It's by Keisha Langton. And it's headlined, Prince George shock. The real reason Prince George may never become king. Real in capital letters, Chris.
Okay, I'm ready.
Prince George is expected to one day become the King of Great Britain and the Commonwealth after the Queen, Prince Charles and Prince William have taken their turns. But might he never be king? Prince George, 6, is third in the line of succession behind his father and grandfather. Prince George is the eldest child of Prince William and Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, an older sibling of Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. Little bit of biographical information there, Chris, to start you off.
I was going to say thank you, Wikipedia.
Well, yeah, quite. Despite his young age, William and Kate have started to discuss what George and Charlotte's roles will be in the future. I mean, constitutionally, they're pretty much set in stone, I would suggest.
I think that they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I imagine that neither of them are going to end up working down quick fit. Don't know if that's still a thing. Don't know if that's still a thing, Chris.
Wow, you can't get fitter than a quick fitter, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
His parents have reportedly started teaching him about royal life and duties in readiness for him to one day become king. A source told Closer Weekly, William and Kate have already talked to George and Charlotte about their future roles, but in a childlike way so that they understand without feeling overwhelmed.
Who wants to wear the crown?
Yes, I imagine it's very much like that. George knows there's something special about him and that one day he'll be the future King of England. Well, he is now. He's already the future King of England.
I mean, don't get ideas above your station unless that actually is your station.
The Cambridge couple have been using storybooks to explain these future roles, according to the Insider. The Cambridge couple just sounds like, a couple of people who've had a difficulty getting their money from Ryanair back in a local newspaper.
I also have a vision of William and Kate with this kind of like big yellow, The Monarchy for Dummies book.
Yeah, lots of diagrams. A source told US Weekly, William talks to George about what being a royal means. He does so in a very simple manner because he doesn't want his son to feel overwhelmed at such a young age. He'll explain things as if he's reading from a children's storybook, so it's fun for George.
So like a pop-up, I don't know, pop-up palace.
Pop-up queen. Pop-up great-gran. Pop-up great-gran. I need to be back on Wikipedia. The Closer Weekly insider said the young children have grown in confidence and will one day be suited to run the royal family. The source told Closer Weekly, George has turned into a confident little boy and loves meeting new people, and Charlotte's a social butterfly.
God, you should see her on Insta.
Yeah, hashtag blessed, literally. They don't get nervous in public and are already showing signs of becoming great leaders. Louis has a great personality and is an outgoing child. He has a cute, cheeky streak like his sister.
I don't think I want a king with a cute, cheeky streak.
Well, you might have noted, Chris, we're some way into this this news article, which was headlined "Prince George shock: the real reason Prince George may never become king." And for journalistic listeners, they may be aware of the drop intro, but this is very much a kind of 34-part drop like you get in American newspapers.
Yeah, maybe they spend so much time, maybe in A Cruel Twist of Fate, they spend so much time preparing for the role by reading various books and listening to, I don't know, ebooks and podcasts on, HRH ready, that they miss the call.
Ebooks, boomer.
Well, what can I say?
All right, we're going to get into why he may never be king now.
Go on.
Body language expert and energy reader Alison Ward revealed how the trio's personalities will affect them as they take on more royal duties. Now, I get people who come around to read the energy sometimes, and they just look in the little cupboard on the wall, don't they? I don't know how you'd also be a body language expert. She said, Prince George comes across as a sensitive boy which carries a double-edged sword. He is able to... He carries a double-edged sword, which is highly irresponsible given his age.
That sounds a bit Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he did. Yes. He is able to read situations and make a good leader, yet he will be affected by negativity, rudeness, sharpness, and anything that isn't kind.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Charlotte, on the other hand, although also sensitive, has a look of calm and order about her. She looks much more confident.
Mm-hmm.
They are blessed, as I said, they are blessed to have such good role models as parents who know what it's like to be sensitive too, so I'm sure they are in the right hands. She added, I feel they both have an energy of free spirits about them, which will be interesting as they mature. But despite this assessment, the energy reader said she could not foresee Prince George becoming king. She said, saying all that, I can't see George being king. I just don't feel it for some reason. Could it be us moving towards a country without a monarch? George has a worried look about him too. Can you see his face scrunching up and his eyes looking for reassurance?
Can you?
And that is why the Express says that Prince George may never become king, because they have asked a mad woman to look at his face to see that he might look stressed and then speculate that a 6-year-old might be so because he thinks there may be a move to republicanism in the coming decades.
Because he scrunches his eyes up a little bit.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm no expert, but that's what children do.
Yeah. And also, generally, ones that don't like people being rude, pretty standard.
Yeah. Also, I mean, if I saw you scrunching your face up, I wouldn't naturally assume that it was because you were worried about a growing anti-monarchy movement in the country.
No, you'd assume I was pissed.
Yeah, I usually would. Yeah. Onward.
Right, now this is by Deirdre Simmons for dailymail.com. Headline, Brody Jenner goes shirtless in latest snap as he urges followers to be, in quotes, productive under quarantine.
Right, well, we'll move on to who Brody Jenner is. I could have a stab. Continuing the speculating by the name of the reporter what job they should be doing, Deirdre Simmons, I'd say, dinner lady.
I thought you were going to say she could be Dear Deirdre.
No. I interviewed Deirdre once. Nice woman. Yeah, nice woman.
Was that where you were posing for your photo love story?
Yes, that was it. Yeah, it was dark days then. It was 10 quid a pop.
Yeah. Well, You've come a long way. While displaying his chiseled chest and washboard abs on Instagram, Brody Jenner encouraged his followers to stay productive. The youngest son of Caitlyn Jenner urged his 3.2 million Instagram followers to try and, in quotes, accomplish something they've, again in quotes, always wanted but never had the time on Sunday. Don't waste it, 36-year-old reality star wrote under a shirtless Instagram of himself on a hike before revising his caption not to include quarantine equals no days off.
I try to place this accent you're doing. So initially it was quite Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then in the end I'd say Steve Guttenberg.
Funnily enough, that's exactly what I went for. I've been watching a lot of Police Academy on lockdown.
Yep, well, haven't we all? Mission to Moscow tonight.
Oh, lovely. For his scene accounting, Jenner wore a pair of black shorts and matching trainers while shooting a shaka handstand and sitting on a bench.
Oh, what's a shaka hand sign?
No, I don't. I actually don't know.
Is it Shakademus and Pliers?
It feels like it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you're not supposed to be sitting on a bench at the moment, are you? You're supposed to continue your movement.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the benches have got the old warning tape on them.
They have. I was in the park yesterday, and a couple of guys had gone to the effort of removing all the tape off the bench so that they could sit down and smoke a nice old blunt.
Right. Well, let's wish the best for them. The Los Angeles native, who did not clarify if the image was a throwback, shared the image on an empty walking path, despite the city closing more than 75,000 acres of parks and trails amid the coronavirus pandemic. Does it matter if it was a throwback or not?
Well, I mean, I suppose if the picture was taken, 6 months ago, it was perfectly fine to go and have a sit down on a bench. Not these days, Chris.
No, true. Last month, Los Angeles County's decision came after trails remained too crowded to maintain social distancing. He is currently pandemic partnering with girlfriend Daisy Keach, 20, who is 16 years his junior.
Yeah, that's not going to last.
Pandemic partnering. I mean, that's quite a good phrase.
I'm.
It will be adopted by other news outlets.
I'm a big alliteration fan, so I quite like that. I just don't know. 16 years his junior. What do they talk about when he's talking about Roland Ranch? She hasn't got a clue.
I don't know really. I mean, maybe they just do the Joe Wicks together and spend the rest of the day trying not to row. Yeah.
He sits in and cracks on with something he's always wanted to do. She goes outside with a twig.
Yeah, exactly. In a dungarees. Jenner's budding relationship comes just a few months after he was seen out with model Alison Mason and a slew of dates with supermodel Jose Canseco's daughter Jodie, 23, and Daniela Grace, 29, who he brought to the Sundance Film Festival. In August, the MTV star split from ex-wife Caitlyn Carter, 31, who had a brief fling with Miley Cyrus, 27. Well, it's a bit of a tangled web, this, isn't it?
It's all getting a bit kind of arches, isn't it?
Lots of bed hopping. Just 2 months ago, he and Carter fueled rumours they'd rekindled their romance by flying back to Los Angeles together after vacationing together in Bali, which was the destination of their lavish nuptials 2 years ago. He was first spotted with Keach on a grocery run to Erewhon Market 3 weeks ago. Don't know.
No, I'm with a clue.
Yeah, exactly. While the pair did not engage in any PDA, the co-founder of the Hype House posted a cheeky selfie on her Instagram story, acknowledging they had been photographed together.
Yeah, that's the last part, and I'm just thinking, I imagine my dad reading that last line. He definitely wouldn't know what a PDA is. He wouldn't know what the hype house is. I don't know what the hype house is. A cheeky selfie? No. I don't know. Instagram story? He'd just be lost.
Well, I find it interesting that Brody has been, encouraging us to do something productive, and yet I can't think really, even being quite generous from reading through that story, what he's been doing that could be classified as productive.
He's just pissing around, isn't he? He put on a pair of black shorts and matching trainers, shot a shaka hand sign, and sat on a bench. I mean, I'm being more productive than that.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say that's a pretty good day, actually.
Yeah, that is a pretty sweet day. Well, with that, I think we should draw proceedings to a close, Chris. But it is the time in the podcast where you traditionally tell people how they can engage with us on social media platforms.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna break that tradition, not even on lockdown. Yes, if you want to, and it's very gratifying that some of you have been. You can check out our past podcasts on things like Audio Boom and Spotify and all that. If you actually want to kind of get in contact with us, you can go to Twitter at barely_pod, or we also have a Barely Contained Facebook page. So look that up too.
We do. People, Chris, may also want to find us on the world's overwhelmingly most popular podcast platform, iTunes.
Yeah, that's a good shout. You should do that too.
Yeah. Right. We'll be back very soon, I hope. So thanks for that, Chris. I think that was a cracker.
Yeah, cheers, Matt. Take care.
Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.